Right, now, thousands of children in South Africa grow up without fathers, and 12-year-old Olwami Shangase has written a book titled Rejected Treasure, where she chronicles about the day she found out that her biological father abandoned her and her mother before she was born, and how she forgave him. Olwami now helps other children facing a similar situation, and she joins us now from our Durban studios to talk more about her book. Olwami, good to have you with us. Thank you so much for coming to the rundown. Let's talk about your book. And before we get into why you wrote the book and some of the contents that I've read in the book, which is absolutely amazing, let's talk about your dedication to your father, Khulani Msimang. I mean, what was your message to your father?
My message to my father, it was actually to dedicate the book to him. Why? Because he took me in throughout, he went through pain for me, and he took me in even though you know I was in her blood, I was in his blood, and so I dedicated this book because he plays a big and a huge role in my story and in my life.
Yeah, and your title then is Rejected Treasure. Talk to me about the book, the title, what does it mean, and also what we find in the book.
So the title, Rejected Treasure. Why I named the book Rejected Treasure is that because I was rejected by my biological father, and my stepfather saw me as a treasure, and so I thought, you know, I am a rejected treasure.
Wow. I like the contrast because it says rejected treasure, but it seems that you felt emotions of rejected, but also you found your happiness in your stepfather. What do you think some of the readers can find in your book in terms of lessons and the stories that you talk about?
Okay, so the lessons you can find in my book. Through the book, you can learn that a lot of things, especially if you divide it into peers and if you divide it into the mothers of the parents. And when it goes to mothers and parents, I would say that in the story you would learn that you need to be there for your child. You need to support your child each and every way, through in and through out. And you as a parent must be there for a child. You must be the one to understand them when the whole world doesn't even understand who they are. You must be the one who identifies their talents, the one who see them as treasure when other people see them as trash. So you as a parent, I think you may learn a lot of life values about raising your child also. And to my peers, I think that you could learn to forgive, because I think that's the #1 thing we as people forget. Like when somebody did you wrong, you need to learn to forgive, even though they don't come and kneel down and say, I'm sorry for doing you wrong. And I think that's the biggest thing you need to learn. And to fathers and to all the mothers and fathers who have gave up their children for some certain reason, I would say that go back to their child. It's not too late to do what is right.
Olwami, I have to say, for a 12-year-old, you're very matured and you're more forgiving than most adults can do. I mean, especially at your age, which makes me so proud and humble to speak to you. But also in your book, I've realized and noticed that you speak a lot about spirituality and your relationship with God. You even thank God for helping you through some of your challenges, and your parents also for introducing you to your relationship with God. How important was it for you to write that in the book?
I think it is really humbling to write that in the book because throughout all the years since I was born, I was dedicated to the Lord. And it's all thanks to my parents, especially my mother, because she's the one who raised me up into knowing the Lord God. And I think that's really important to all parents to do, because you as a parent, you must be the one to introduce your child into this life of Christianity or into knowing God, because you know I survived all these years through each and every pain of rejection, pain in the past, and each and every pain that I've experienced just because I was with God and God was with me. And having a relationship with God helped me so much in such a way that I wouldn't be scared of what would happen, because I know God was with me and would protect me. Whatever came in my way, I know that God was with me. So yeah.
Olwami, you are a treasure indeed. Thank you so much for joining me right here on The Rundown.